College students are not automatically locked out of SNAP. But if your school calls you at least half-time, there is a second screen before the ordinary income and household rules. Miss that screen, and you can talk yourself out of food help you should at least ask about.
So the first question is not, do I have a student ID? It is, how does my school classify my enrollment?
And the word halftime is not a universal number of credits. The school determines what halftime means. River, keep that distinction visible.
Less than half-time. The student restriction does not apply. You still have to meet the other SNAP rules. Half-time or more. You need an exemption, then the other rules too.
The school type matters as well, Leo. USDA describes higher education as a degree curriculum at a college or university, or a qualifying business, technical, trade, or vocational school that normally requires a high school diploma or equivalent. A short continuing education class is not automatically the same screen.
Before we get to the exemption map, check your enrollment label with the school. This laptop scene is only study context. It does not prove enrollment, income, or eligibility.
Coming up, Professor Lindquist turns the rule into lanes: work, work, study, caregiving, and the campus meal plan trap. Which lane should you verify first? Real quick, because this next part matters to you. If any of this is helping, tap that like button, then hit subscribe and ring the bell so the next one finds you. Both are free and take about a second, but they tell the algorithm to show this to one more person who needs it. Professor Lindquist, start with the sentence students need to hear. Erica, listen for the difference between an exemption and a decision.
An exemption opens the student screen. It does not erase SNAP's other requirements. USDA lists several lanes: paid work for at least 20 hours a week, state or federally financed work study, an on-the-job training program, certain caregiving situations, TANF, and specific employment and training placements. The exact lane has to fit the student's facts and the state's review.
That is the key. A student can be studying and working, but a generic work scene cannot prove the hours or the exemption. Leo, do not turn a visual into a case result.
Write the screen as 4 checks: enrollment, exemption, other SNAP rules, state review.
There is another route some students miss: River. USDA guidance says some states use approved SNAP employment and training educational activities at community colleges to qualify eligible half-time students. That is not a national automatic pass. It depends on the state plan, the activity, and every other eligibility requirement.
And the campus meal plan can change the answer. If a mandatory or optional plan provides the majority of your meals, USDA says you are ineligible for SNAP. The state agency has to explore how your actual plan works.
Finally, do not revive pandemic-era advice. USDA says the temporary student exemptions are no longer available for students applying or recertifying on or after July 1, 2023. Use the current student page in your state process.
This cafe worker is a visual metaphor for a possible work lane, not evidence of 20 hours work study or SNAP approval.
So the unlock is not one magic checkbox. It is the right student screen, followed by the ordinary SNAP screen. Professor Lindquist, give us the action list. Before applying, write down 4 answers. First, how does your school classify your enrollment? Ask for the school's own halftime label.
Second, which exemption are you asking the state to screen? Paid work, work study, caregiving, TANF, training, or another listed lane. Name the lane instead of saying only, I am a student.
Third, ask how the meal plan is counted. Erica, a dining hall, a grocery allowance, and a plan that covers most meals are not the same thing. The state agency evaluates the arrangement.
Fourth, use the state where you currently live. USDA's directory says every state has its own application form and process, and the federal agency does not process individual applications.
Keep the proof the state asks for: enrollment status, the exemption evidence, income and household information, and meal plan details if relevant. This paperwork footage is generic. It is not a federal student form.
Then take the question to the right state office, not a campus rumor. Walking between classes is the payoff. One accurate route beats 5 confident guesses.
Like and subscribe for more benefit rules translated into a next action. Which student lane will you verify first? Enrollment, work, caregiving, or the meal plan? Check the current USDA and state guidance before you act. Take care.